Why is it that people always ask you when you're reading a book on marriage if you're already getting married or you're planning to get married immediately? Sometimes you're just reading the book to get knowledge. You might not even be in a relationship. Funnily enough, I bought this book when I was a teenager, but this particular one, I just bought it because I don't know who I learned that one that did not return it. That's why I don't give my books to people anymore. I don't lend books. Just go and buy yours. So I've had this book before I bought this one. So I read it while I was a teenager. I mean, I was a teenager. I was not even in a relationship. I was not even planning to get married at the time, but I just read it because I love to just get knowledge in different aspects of life. Yeah. One of the things I started doing is reading books instead of pressing my phone when I'm on transit, when I'm just sitting at a place doing nothing. I just want to read a book instead of scrolling. You get this book has initiated a lot of conversation between me and my core member. I even had to make friends because of this book. We just had a conversation about this book and entered some random stuff. This is your cue to read a book instead of pressing your phone when you're on transit, when you are anywhere that just not doing anything, maybe relaxing, waiting for someone, or just sitting. You can actually read a book. So let's go back to this review. If you're in a relationship, you plan to get married in the future. I mean, I'm planning to get married in the future, even though we are still singles to stupor. So this book is by Gary Chapman, and he's basically talking about the things he wished he had known before he got married. And it's just so interesting that people go into marriage without actually preparing for the life after the wedding. And one thing he wrote here, he said the decision to get married will impact one's life more deeply than almost any decision in life. Chapter 1 says that being in love is not an adequate foundation for building a successful marriage. He also said that he did not expect that he and his wife Caroline are going to have so much altercations in their first year of marriage because basically they did not understand themselves. And he said often we fail to consider the fact that our social, spiritual, intellectual interests are miles apart, our value system and goals are contradictory, but we are in love. The great tragedy stemming from this perception of love is that a year after the marriage, a couple sits in the counselor office and says, we don't love each other anymore. Therefore, they are ready to separate. So I asked myself this question. This person that I will eventually be in a relationship with, for instance, is this person's social, is this person's values, is this person's interest miles apart from mine? I mean, why are you dating somebody that your interests, your values are far apart? Two cannot work together unless they agree. What are your spiritual values? Your social values? For instance, you're a Christian and you eventually love a Muslim. Are you ready to be unequally yoked? Because love is just not enough. And he said there will be a time where the tingles will wear off, all the euphoric feelings are going to wear off. What are you going to do when those feelings and those tingles wear off? What is going to sustain your marriage? It's important to explore the most important issues of compatibility. And he also said that romantic love has two stages. The first stage is the euphoric stage, the tingle stage, where everything is doing butterflies in my belly and all those stuff, all those good stuff. This first stage requires little effort, and the second stage is the intentional stage that requires effort, and it requires work to keep an emotional love alive. This is where I also talked about knowing your partner's love language, because how you like to be loved may not necessarily be the way your partner likes to be loved. So you have to find out those things because you are intentional about making this love, about making this relationship or making your marriage work. So talked about how we can discover your love language and your partner's love language because everybody is different. That thing I also like is where he said like mother, like daughter, and like father, like son. Sometimes people are so in love that they want to leave family out of it. When you are getting married, you are not getting married to yourself. You are getting married to the whole family. It's important that you check this family person you're about to get in a relationship with or you're going to get married to. If their father is abusive, it's possible that this person can also be abusive if the person has not worked on himself or done the inner work. And he said this, if the son of an abuser does not take specific steps to understand abuse, why his father became an abuser, and what he needs to do to break the pattern, then he is likely to repeat it. I like that this is such a balanced book. The women are not left out. So if the mother have a specific character, it is possible that the woman is going to repeat it. That if her mother is disrespectful, she nags and all of that, it's also going to be a trait found in the woman. So If these people that are about to get married have not understand these things and how they need to break this pattern, maybe they have a character or a trait that they took from their parents. So like father, like son, like mother, like daughter, it's a routine, and we need to work on ourselves. Everyone needs to work on themselves to break this pattern or to heal from those trauma, those things that has formed their mind, those things that has formed them as a person. And in chapter 5, it said apologizing is a sign of strength. I love that he talked about 5 different ways to apologize. Some people think that when they just say sorry, it automatically makes everything okay. Sometimes sorry doesn't just cut it. So he talked about several ways to apologize and how to apologize and not repeat the same mistake, because some people are just vile. They can just apologize and think that everything is okay. Apologizing doesn't cut it for your bad behavior. You need to change your bad behavior, my dear. So change your bad behavior. So saying sorry is not just enough. So he talked about ways to say sorry and meaning it and repenting and changing from that bad behavior and not doing it again. So yeah, apologizing doesn't just cut it sometimes. That's why I said this book is a balance. He talked about forgiveness. He talked about finances, and finances is a major part of a marriage. I mean, he talked about how you're going to balance your finances and asking the important questions in a relationship even before you get married. Reading this book just brought to mind a lot of things. The story of Paul and Barnabas. God said, separate unto me Paul and Barnabas. But did you know that that partnership between Paul and Barnabas did not work? We later did not hear of Barnabas, because what happened? There was a quarrel. Even God has said, this is your God ordained husband, or you have found the one. If you don't put in the work, that relationship or that marriage is not going to work. So I like that this book explicitly talks about how to make your marriage work. It's just basically talking about how to make your marriage, your relationship work, asking the important question, learning how to converse, learning how to resolve conflict. I mean, conflict resolution is a real thing, and you need to learn how to resolve conflict so that you are not bringing your bad behavior and scattering what God has ordained. So we need to really work on ourselves, and this book shows you how and what to do. So this is my entry. I want to work with book brands. I want to work with brands or authors that write good books. I want to work with you. Please send me books. I want to review good books. Let's work together. It could also be a paid collaboration. I mean, didn't you enjoy this review that I just gave? It's so good, right? So yeah,